What's up everyone, it's Scotty with Money Investing. In this video, we are going to be talking about one of the highest quality companies out there. They are going to be reporting earnings later this week. So my goal is to break down everything you need to know: revenue expectations, earnings expectations, intrinsic value, what do they actually do, what's their actual significant advantage and moat over their competitors. Of course, go over the technical analysis as well. So hope you guys enjoy this video, find it helpful. If you do, make sure that you drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're just joining us for the first time. A quick announcement and something that I want to share is that we've had this really crazy impersonator scammer in our Discord for a while. So now I've finally made the decision, upon obviously considering all of our community members, that we are going to close our public money vesting server for good, and it's only going to be members only in our Discord moving forward. So if you want to transition from a public member to a private Discord, I did start a lower priced tier if that's something you're interested in, and that will give you access to the private chat only. Of course, alerts are not included. If you want to upgrade, you can always do that, but that is something that I wanted to start just to make sure that every member is safe. And you guys as a community, we are safe, because there's a lot of scammers and impersonators out there on YouTube, on Discord, on Twitter. The list goes on. And I'm sure a lot of content creators, a lot of people kind of deal with this on an everyday basis, but I just couldn't take it any longer. It's been going on for a while, so I decided to basically shut down the public money investing server, and it's only going to be private members only moving forward. So if you want to join, again, it is going to be a new tier, lower priced, not alerts, but a private chat tier if that's something you're interested in. And the 16% annual discount also does apply to this as well, so you will get 2 free months. And again, the options course is available till the end of this month. There is going to be 50% off coupon code launch if you want to take advantage of that as well, and the bundle is also 50% off if you want to take advantage of that as well. So the company we are talking about today is going to be none other than Lam Research, and Lam Research, ticker symbol LRCX. It is, in my opinion at least, one of the best companies, one of the highest quality companies out there, also trading at a reasonably low valuation. $85 billion market cap, dividend yield of just over 1% for the company. We have seen a little bit of a compression on a quarter-over-quarter basis when it comes to revenues and earnings. So expectations right now are $5.13 with a revenue of just over $3 billion for the company. Now, in terms of what they actually do, I wanted to go over some of the highlights. So they are a global supplier of semiconductor manufacturing equipment, and the company designs, manufactures, and markets and services a broad portfolio of products and technologies used to fabricate semiconductor chips and advanced packaging as well. And the products are used in a variety of semiconductor manufacturing processes, including thin film deposition, plasma tech, photoresist strip, and wafer cleaning. There's a lot of specific, precise things that Lam Research does and offers, and these processes are used to create the tiny complex chips that are used in electronic devices such as smartphones, computers, and cars. The company does have a wide variety of patents, over 10,000 patents granted and pending, and of course it's got massive scale, leading supplier globally of semiconductor manufacturing equipment with a market share of over 30%, and this scale gives the company a number of advantages, including economies of scale, while also allowing it to manufacture it to produce more cheaply than its competitors. And these are some of the customers that Lam Research sells to: Samsung Electronics, TSMC, of course, Intel, Micron, United Microelectronic Corporation, so UMC, Sony, MediaTek, and Qualcomm as well. So a lot of the other manufacturers that they sell to all these equipment that are essential for the entire manufacturing process. Now, going back over to the actual numbers, the company's got absolutely impeccable financials. I mean, revenues have grown from $3.5 billion to over $17 billion. Gross profit as well from $1.4 billion to $7.8, and operating income has gone from $118 million to over $5.3 billion. Absolutely insane amount of operating leverage over the years for Lam Research. This right here is going to be net income, $113 million, growing to over $4.6 billion. I mean, if you do the math there, 4.6 divided by 113, that's a 40 times increase in profitability over the last 9 years. 40 times increase. It's a 4,000% increase in the last 9 years for the company, and shares outstanding have gone down from 173 million on a diluted basis down to under 137 million. So they've consistently bought back shares EBITDA and free cash flow also growing and moving in the right direction. Very strong margins, so 45% gross margins, over 26% net margins, and incredible return on equity, capital, and assets for the company. And balance sheets also very good at over $5.3 billion cash with a little over $5 billion of debt. So the company is sitting on a negative net debt of $364 million with a current ratio of over 1.9, quick ratio, current ratio of over 3 and quick ratio of just under 2, and debt to free cash flow over 3.5. So needless to say, the company's got some of the best fundamentals out there when it comes to revenues, earnings, margins, profitability, and not to mention the balance sheet as well. And the valuation's quite reasonable. So it's not like some of the other chip stocks that's trading at, 30, 40, 50 times earnings multiple. But instead for Lam Research, we are looking at a 17 to 19 times earnings multiple. Price to sales trading at over 4.5, close to 5. And price to cash flow trading at just over 14 to 19 times. It's not like super expensive, but it's also not like super cheap either relative to its earnings, right? So we're looking at 33 times earnings multiple. They are expected to compress over the next couple of years, unfortunately, down to 25.80. And then after 2025 is when they're expected to grow pretty well, all the way up to $59, $56 per share. So going over to the actual spreadsheet, you'll notice that the share buyback has been about 2.6%. Every single year over the last 9 years. And this right here is going to be that earnings expectation, a little bit over 13% for the company. So I'm going to guess, if I were to guess right now, this stock is probably trading very close to its fair value, even after it has moved quite a bit from $300. It's rallied over 120%. Year to date, Lam Research is up 48%. I'm going to take a guess here before we calculate that it's trading almost at its fair value. So we're going to go with, let's say, 12% growth rate for the company. The analysts are pricing in 13%. So we're going to go a little bit more conservative here. Price to earnings multiple, we're going to go with 16. Right now it's at 17, 18 times earnings multiple. I think 16 is pretty reasonable considering a 12% growth rate. That's going to be a PEG ratio 1.33. They do pay a dividend. So if you come down a little bit, they do pay a 1% dividend. So we can go with 11% discount rate, 10% margin of safety, and share dilution of about minus 2.5% because that's really been the average over the last 9 years. That's how much they've bought back shares every single year. You hit enter and we're looking at a fair value of $568, and right now it's trading at around $639. So again, it is actually not that far off, only 10 to 11% away from its intrinsic value. If you actually come over here, you'll notice that $596 is kind of like the upper limit of that fair value. So just a little bit under $600 is going to be that intrinsic value for this really, really high quality business. You can take a look at the sensitivity grid as well. Again, if you want to be more conservative, go up the ladder here on the P multiple and go left on the P multiple and go up on the growth rate. If you want to be more aggressive, go right on the P multiple, go down on the multiples and the growth rates, and you will kind of figure it out for yourself, kind of depending on what your growth rates and multiples are. But for me, I think sub 575, closer to 550, again, are going to be some good levels to watch for this stock. And again, this is going to be the technical analysis. We've been talking about a potential inverse head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, and right shoulder. And then, of course, we saw a huge breakout after it validated the 21 exponential moving average as well. So the next big resistance for Lam Research is actually going to be exactly where it's trading at the moment, sitting roughly at 650. And all-time highs obviously sit all the way up to $720 per share for Lam Research. I'll be watching closer to $525, $550 because, again, I want to buy it below the intrinsic value, so I'm getting a good deal and it's undervalued. And so those right there are going to be some levels to watch for this company, all the way down to, of course, its moving averages. And even sub 400 would just be an absolute deal, steal deal, I should say, for Lam Research. So every time it's actually bounced very nicely off of its moving averages. It's been on a consistent uptrend. You'll notice over the years, it has just been making higher highs and higher lows. So we're very close to an all-time high. If the company reports some good numbers and some good guidance, I wouldn't be surprised to see it pass $650, $700, kind of like getting a breakout past that resistance. But of course, if it does sell off on good numbers, then that could be our opportunity to at least start a little bit of a starter position, get a little skin in the game, and continue to dollar cost average a little bit moving forward. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, found it helpful. If you did, make sure that you drop a like. And again, that's Lamb Research for you. Very, very high quality business. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. But my fair value is going to sit sub 575. Don't forget, bundle and coupon code launch gives you 50% discount for this. And there's also a private chat new tier for Patreon if you're interested in joining us, because unfortunately we're closing down the public channel for Discord as well. So as always, happy investing. I'll see you all in the next video.